One of the truest things I've ever said about sexual personae was a very sophisticated gay editor of a gay magazine in Boston who said, the voice of sexual personae is the voice of Myra Breckinridge. And that is absolutely perfect. Myra Breckinridge being Gore Vidal's novel made into a very bad movie starring Raquel Welch about a transsexual and a combative warrior transsexual. And I think that is really true about the most extreme kinds of prose in sexual personae. It's the voice of Myra Breckinridge. It's like like a 7 foot tall drag queen of the old style, who would mow down everyone in her path. Profanation and violation are part of the perversity of sex, which never will conform to liberal theories of benevolence. Every model of morally or politically correct sexual behavior will be subverted by nature's daimonic law. Every hour of every day, some horror is being committed somewhere. Feminism, arguing from the milder woman's view, completely misses the bloodlust in rape, the joy of violation and destruction. And aesthetics and erotics of profanation, evil for the sake of evil, the sharpening of the senses by cruelty and torture, have been documented in Sade, Baudelaire, and Huysmans. Women may be less prone to such fantasies because they physically lack the equipment for sexual violence. They do not know the temptation of forcibly invading the sanctuary of another body. Our knowledge of these fantasies is expanded by pornography, which is why pornography should be tolerated, though its public display may reasonably be restricted. The imagination cannot and must not be policed. Pornography shows us nature's daimonic heart, those eternal forces at work beneath and beyond social convention. Pornography cannot be separated from art. The two interpenetrate each other far more than humanistic criticism has admitted. Jeffrey Hartman rightly says, quote, great art is always flanked by its dark sisters, blasphemy and pornography, close quote. Hamlet itself, the cardinal Western work, is full of lewdness. Criminals through history, from Nero and Caligula to Gilles de Rais and the Nazi commandants, have never needed pornography to stimulate their exquisite, gruesome inventiveness. The diabolic human mind is quite enough. The Venus of Willendorf, a cult image half molded from a rough stone, is unbeautiful because art has not yet found its relation to the eye. Her fat is a symbol of abundance in an age of famine. She is the too muchness of nature, which man longs to direct to his salvation. Venus of Willendorf carries her cave with her. She is blind, masked. Her ropes of cornrow hair look forward to the invention of agriculture. She has a furrowed brow. Her facelessness is the impersonality of primitive sex and religion. There is no psychology or identity yet, because there is no society, no cohesion. Men cower and scatter at the blast of the elements. The Venus of Willendorf is comically named, for she is unbeautiful by every standard. But beauty has not yet emerged as a criterion for art. In the Old Stone Age, art is magic, a ritual recreation of what is desired. Cave paintings were not meant to be seen. Their beauty for us is incidental. Bison and reindeer crowd the walls, following rock ridges and grooves. Art was invocation, a summoning. Mother Nature, let herds return, that man might eat. Caves were the bowels of the goddess, and art was a sexual scribbling, an impregnation. It had rhythm and vitality, but no visual status. Woman is trapped in her wavy, watery body. She must listen and learn from something beyond and yet within her. The Venus of Willendorf, blind, tongueless, brainless, armless, knock-kneed, seems a depressing model of gender. Yet woman is depressed, pressed down by Earth's gravitation, calling us back to her bosom. In the West, art is a hacking away at nature's excess. The Western mind makes definitions. That is, it draws lines. This is the heart of Apollonianism. There are no lines in the Venus of Willendorf, only curves and circles. She is the formlessness of nature. She is mired in the miasmic swamp I identify with Dionysus. Life always begins and ends in squalor. The Venus of Willendorf, slumping, slovenly, sluttish, is in a rut, the womb tomb of Mother Nature. Never send to know for whom the bell tolls. She tolls for thee. And it was 2:30 in the morning when I finished this section. It was like 2:45, and I had to get up early and get into the city, Philadelphia, for my morning class, which began at 8:30. And I was just desperate for a final sentence to the section, and I just could not think of it. I kept going over and over my notes, and I was just at my wit's end. I did not want to go to sleep until I had some final sentence for this section. And then as I'm sitting there, I heard, clear as a bell, I heard a voice which said, "Never send to know for whom the bell tolls." Now, I know that that's my inner voice. Wherever the inner computer is and the inner mechanism is, I think of it as kind of like the kitchen in a diner restaurant, okay, where people are yelling, two sailors on a shingle, or something like that. And there's like all this stuff going on in the, in the background there. So it's really kind of the diner, okay. So this appeared like a voice, clear as a bell, all right. And I actually said, I turned and I said, "Thank you." Thank you, like that, like just like you'd say into the cooking area at a diner. I thought this was very interesting because someone like Joan of Arc, okay, I thought she was hearing voices, from God and voices from saints and so on, but it was one of her own inner voices. But I just think it's interesting that there must be a very kind of transparent curtain in the various chambers of the mind. So there's something always working in there that now and then just like it sort of just spits out like a helpful idea. So I will always remember that it just as an example of kind of the unconscious minds at work.